This is the final package on the present Kier project. I don't know if it will ever be used with the rig, but the back panel you can see is full of cables. The big white cable is the serial port going to the terminal emulator program on the computer. The Ethernet cable is next to that. And in all of this mess, I can't tell. I guess there's only one other cable. That's the DC cable. So the DC is this black cable here, and then the serial port cable, and then the Ethernet port cable is hidden over there. Right now there's a big bulky serial cable that takes the serial stream from the Linux board to the AVR Kier. That'll eventually not be a full cable, but just a short jumper. The USB keyboard is plugged in here above the piezo, and the PS2 keyboard is plugged in here. Either one can control it. The PS2 keyboard is directly connected to the original AVR Kier, and the USB keyboard is connected to the Linux embedded processor board, and is the one that would normally be used with this. The PS2 keyboard would not normally be used if it's ever actually used as the rig keyboard. The side panel has the original Kier and some air cooling holes. And I think that little hole down there is a microprocessor reset access button. And the LCD display here would not have normally been required. But since this is mostly just a test and experiment project, I included it. So I've got a fully functional AVR Kier in there, and it's being driven by the microprocessor board, which has shown up in previous videos, but this is the first time that the entire thing has been packaged together. I do have a paddle plugged in. I don't think I've identified that plug back there on the back. I don't remember. And I'm not sure if the piezo is coming through the microphone in this webcam, since the piezo is not very loud. The paddle is the two back-to-back mice, so I make a lot of mistakes sending with it. But I managed to send my call, and it reset the timer. Of course, if I send my call from the USB keyboard, that also resets the timer. Or if I send it from the PS2 keyboard, it resets it. And the PS2 keyboard controls speed. There's the keyboard speed and the paddle speed. So everything else is the same as normal. So that's about it. The other side of this thing has one miniature USB connector up there, which is the interface for updating the software in the AVR Kier. The software in the Linux board that controls this LCD display here is updated on a Linux desktop machine and downloaded over Ethernet into the board right now. Still have some work to do in that area, but at least the physical package actually went together. Two on-off switches. This one's for the original AVR Kier, and this one is for the ARM board. And I don't know how careful I need to be about just abruptly turning power off there without shutting down the Linux system, since the embedded board operates completely out of flash memory on the board. Hopefully it's robust enough that an accidental power outage won't hurt. The main thing for me to be worried about this thing is to not connect the the DC input's up wrong. I'm going to need to really be careful. I probably won't be able to get it here, but there are two DC input connectors, one here and one over the side. And if I were to get mixed up and connect the 12-volt supply for the keyer into the input jack for the processor, that would blow up the processor. So I really should figure out an arrangement to make it absolutely impossible to do that. And I really should do that sometime soon, or otherwise I might well destroy the Linux board. So that's it.